Today I want to talk about the subscription economy. Some are fans, some, kind of like look back at the time when they were able to just purchase software, use it for however long they wanted, and then upgrade when they were ready to upgrade. Today, most companies mainly drive their software as a service solutions, or SaaS in short, which means you're stuck with that subscription. Obviously, what many customers are using is an Office subscription that has great productivity tools, but many of us or creative people also subscribe to software solutions like Adobe. I personally love the subscription economy. I do. Because back in the days you had to wait multiple years for an update, or 1 year, 2 years, until there's like some really new features. In between, there was really just security fixes. But one thing that struck me as not very good was when my dad retired. A person that used all his life the Adobe family products at a time when they still shipped boxes with CDs, to the time now where it's the Adobe Creative Cloud that he subscribes. Now, he has used Adobe products probably 20 plus years. Now he's in retirement, he's in his 70s, and he still does a lot of video editing. Sometimes he goes back to old files that he used Adobe Illustrator for, or had a designer buddy help him with like some InDesign document to create family updates, memorabilia, etc. He still has to pay now today basically $55 a month, and that's like the minimum subscription with all the apps. But many, like myself, we use also automatically update our photos from our mobile phones to Lightroom. So many of us opted in for a plan that has 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte of storage, because in that base plan of $55 for all apps, it's only 100 gigabyte included in cloud storage. And when you get older and you retire and you change to that fixed income, you're gonna have to make some cuts, right? You may don't update your phone as regularly or your computer. You really take your time before you actually just go and spend money, because it has to be enough until your time here on Earth is over. Today, I want to share with you as I create a change.org initiative for Adobe in this particular case to lower subscription cost for retirees. And so I believe they already do this with students and teachers that pay only $19.99 or something like just below $20 a month for the same suite. Now, obviously, there is a risk. You could argue, what if a person in retirement, still is active as a wedding photographer or does some video business, or maybe has an online channel that makes money? Well, I think it would be fair for Adobe to charge the full price if the solution is used commercially. The terms for the student license and teacher license in Europe already excludes commercial use of that license. I think in the US or North America it's included. But that I leave up to Adobe how they want to handle it. But I do believe Adobe should lower it, similar as how they did it with students, offer this again for the retirees, because right now I see it in my own family. People are forced to use or search for alternative, and then they switch. But if they stay and can engage their creative minds, creating content, creating memorabilia, it's also something where Adobe actually could win of it, because he could influence grandchildren, children's. There's one thing for sure, because my dad was an Adobe user, I'm an Adobe user, and I'm still using Adobe, even though there's cheaper options out there with DaVinci Resolve as an example, which is a one-time fee of $300 or $400 versus what I pay in Adobe. If you've never seen change.org, it is a place where you can create initiatives that you're passionate about and collect signatures. And then in the hope, obviously, that the company or the people you made it for change or adjust. It doesn't guarantee you that Adobe does anything. Maybe Adobe just ignores it and says, it's not enough. As a personal goal, I set out for 100,000 signatures. That's what I grew up with in Switzerland was needed for initiative to be taken serious by the government. And so I figured 100,000 signatures would be nice here as well. And I do hope I get your support. And I hope you help me spread the word for this initiative that we're about to create. Okay, so here we are on change.org. Let's see if we can log in with Google. I prefer that very much over logging in with a new username and password. Start our own petition. We want to have a global petition that everybody can sign. I think this is something that is globally applicable. Let's see what we have here. It's technology. Continue. So here we need a petition title, and I have prepped that ahead of time. That's what I came up with. Says I can also change that later, but also here I came prepared with a text to add as to why people should support my petition. Okay, what do we want? And then you see now the formatting is corrupted, so we're gonna correct this very quickly. And then let's grab this and see, can I make this in bullet points? And that worked. Then they don't have underscore, but they have bold. So let's make these section bold. Let's go continue. Asks us to upload an image. I created one with AI with DALL-E 2, which was basically, I gave the description, old person working on photo editing. This is what DALL-E came up with. And then I have Adobe stock pictures. I don't want it to seem like it is an Apple thing. So let's see how this picture, if this doesn't look like because it's a square, I will use something else. But look at this, it's actually not bad. So we're using this. Continue. Since this is optional, we're not gonna add it. What I didn't get is, it said I should say for who it is, who I want this to be with, who would be informed if like people sign up. Doesn't ask me for that. Okay, and let's see what's happening if we say published. I will share the link to the petition in the video description. I would appreciate if you can take a short time, fill it out, and share this with other people and help me to get to the goal of 100,000. We will see in a second if I can find out where I set this up, because it said, like, I looked at other petitions and they put the number, what the target is for their signatures to know when it was achieved. So I'm not sure how that works here, but I really would appreciate your help to spread the word. So let's see if when we go here, take me to my dashboard. So 0 of 0. Choose a decision maker is here. Look at that. This wasn't there before because I looked at this. I Googled to see who is the lead for the Creative Cloud. And this one is what I came up with. Let's see. Okay, so email goes here. His name goes here. We're gonna put his title. Save. That's again for post and update. Let's go back to the dashboard. So look at this. We already got one supporter, which is great. Try different images. Let's do that. Your original image, and then we add 2 more images. The 2 that I said I downloaded from Adobe stock. Let's see how that goes. Now, if this is obviously successful, I do hope that other companies will follow. And I also would like to see Microsoft offering that in the future. And so I hope if Adobe takes the lead here or the charge, that other software as a service solutions will follow their lead and offer discounts for people who are retired. This is it for today. It was just creating this petition that I'm really passionate about it because I have seen my dad paying these fees. Particular with this, I do believe there is a huge case to be made for both, the benefiting Adobe as well as benefiting people that have been loyal customers most of their lives and giving them that discount while they're going through their retirement. I hope that when I retire, we are at this point, because if I do the math at the age I am at, and I think, okay, if I pay another 40 years, $55, that would be the minimum. My fee is usually more expensive because I have more storage, but imagine you pay $80 or almost $1,000 each year over 40 years. I mean, you guessed it would be $40,000 in software, whereas it's the old world, it would literally have been, I could have upgraded every 3 or 4 years, not every year, which would have brought the cost massively down. Obviously, companies do this to increase average revenue per customers, which I understand. The economy needs to grow. We're grateful if they grow the business, because many of us might also be investors, or our pension funds are investors with these tech companies. But at the same time, I think there's value in doing right by the community, doing right by valued customers, and doing right by people on a lower income. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I can count on you to spread the word. If you haven't done yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would highly appreciate that. Help me collect these signatures so that we hopefully can move Adobe. And if there's any software as a service solution you're passionate about it or wish they would adjust for retirees as well, please leave that in the comments down below. That also will help me to get more traction with this whole initiative. And with that, DDiv Kurt out.